The New York Giants just shocked the entire NFL by knocking off the Los Angeles Chargers in Jaxson Dart's NFL debut. And some Giants fans are already calling Jaxson Dart their savior. I want to jump into the film and invite you guys to come along with me and see if Jaxson Dart's really what he's all hyped up to be so far, or if New York fans are getting a little bit too excited. Let's jump into the film. Okay, here on this first play, we're going to have a concept right here called up where we're going to have drag underneath. Malik's just going to hook over the ball, and our running back's going to swing out here to the flat. This is kind of a half-field read for Jaxson Dart. These routes are really just there just in case nothing on this side of the formation gets open. And what I want you to primarily watch here is look how deep these safeties and corners are. This tells us pre-snap, hey, this is probably cover 4. They're not lined up on the receiver on this side of the field. And against cover 4, your underneath stuff should always get open. So let's watch what Jaxson Dart does here. I think he does a really great job here of actually getting the ball out quick, on time, with anticipation. Doesn't really have to go through a read progression. You see he kind of stares down Malik Neighbors, but that's because the player he's actually reading on this play is this linebacker right here. If this linebacker goes with a flat like he sees he does there, then ultimately he hits Malik right here. And that's just an easy completion. Great job by the Giants, scheming him something open early in the game that's going to help him get in rhythm. Okay, on this play right here, this is going to be a full field progression read from Jaxson Dart. We're going to have a dig over the ball right there. We're going to have a quick little hitch right there from Darius Slayton. Wan'Dale Robinson's going to run a zig. And then we're going to switch release these two guys, cut him outside, cut him on another dig a little bit deeper. I should have drawn that probably about to the 15. But once again, we see here the Chargers have 2 deep safeties playing wide on the field, which tells us, hey, this could be cover 2 man, or it could also be cover 4 again. And Jaxson Dart's going to call hut here. He's going to get the ball, and he's going to quickly realize, hey, this is cover 4 again. How do you beat cover 4? You get on top of the linebackers if they don't get enough depth, and you hit something before that guy makes it to the safety. So great route here by Malik Neighbors. Jaxson Dart, you see, steps up in the pocket like he's going to run. They have to respect that part of his game, and he's just going to make the easy completion there to Malik Neighbors. You'd love to see a ball put about right here so Malik can run and maybe score a touchdown, but Dart does a good job getting that ball out for a completion to Malik. But I want you to notice why that ball is like that. These are some weird mechanics that Dart's showing off right here, right? You got the sidearm when it's not really necessary, right? He could have thrown normally right here, but he's on the move. Weird footwork, so he just tries to get that ball out of his hand. Leaves it a little low, though, like I mentioned. Here on this one, we're going to have a split back play called up, and what I really love about that is it gives you the ability to max protect and have a lot of guys in to block, right? I don't actually love this play call here in the end zone just because I don't think this is a play that guarantees your guys get open. But we're going to have a comeback here by Darius Slayton. He doesn't run it this far inside, but that's just to keep it all in frame for you. We're going to have a slant here, which is great against the blitz if Wan'Dale can win off the line, but he's a smaller receiver, so in press like this, he's not typically going to win. And then we're going to use Malik Neighbors here on a go, try to hold one of these safeties to this side of the field, and if that safety doesn't go, you always have the option to give your best player a one-on-one go ball, which we know Jaxson Dart loves to throw. And then, like I mentioned, we're going to leave these two guys in to block here underneath and give us a max protect because they're blitzing this guy. This guy's rolling down to a cloud right here. This guy's actually going to pop out to a cloud right here. This guy's going to go deep, and that's just going to give us an ability here with Jaxson Dart where if he has enough time, his only option's really this comeback right there. And I want you to watch. This is some really veteran stuff by Dart. Has a clean pocket here, realizes nothing's open though, steps up in the pocket because they give him the opportunity, and watch him call for his receiver to come back. That's something a vet does, right? It's a really good play here by Jaxson Dart. You got the max protection, step up in the pocket when it's open, realize you can't go anywhere, and then make a great throw on the run to your receiver. Really great job there by Jaxson Dart. Okay, now we have a really interesting play called up here, and I think this is going to be the first rep by Jaxson Dart in this game where I don't love what he did. And I don't mind the aggressiveness that he has here, but I'm not a super big fan. We're going to have a sluggo right here by Darius Slayton on this side of the field. We're going to have another zig right here by Wan'Dale Robinson. Great route for a guy like him who's super quick, but like I mentioned, it can be very difficult to get open. We're going to have a backside skinny post or post over here, and then we're actually going to take our running back and he's going to release on this side, which I actually really like that play call. It kind of shifts the man coverage here, and the reason I say I don't love this play, Dart is ultimately going to throw it to this sluggo. Now, is the sluggo open at all? No. He's seeing one-on-one coverage with his receiver and giving his guy a chance. I love that aggressiveness, but we have 2nd and 10 here, and I think if Dart would have went through his progressions and got to his running back hot, he would have realized that he had a huge gain here, right? So if Dart looks over at his running back, because his man's on this side of the formation, if he could have read that pre-snap, realized this was man coverage, he would have had his running back out the backfield. This corner's back's turn, probably pick up an easy first down right here, right? But Dart staring down the sluggo, he tends to do that sometimes, right? He's still a rookie. This is something he did at Ole Miss all the time, is he stares down his primary target, right? A lot of people have been comparing him to Jalen Hurts, and I think that's a perfect comp because that's something I see Jalen Hurts do a lot, and they both have that great mobility, bigger guys who are willing to run somebody over, right? So love that comp for Jaxson Dart, and I think the Giants would be happy if they could get the Jalen Hurts level of production here in New York. Okay, I already have this play drawn up here because I think this might have actually been Jaxson Dart's worst play of the entire game, without a doubt. Watching this back on film, he clearly has multiple receivers open here, one really important receiver on a huge route, and he just completely misses it. He kind of does what I've seen Jalen Hurts do, like that comp I mentioned a second ago. So you're going to have a levels concept to the right side of your field, right? You got Malik Neighbors on a deep corner route, Wandale on a slightly shorter corner route, and you're just going to have a quick little out route here by your tight end. Hook over the ball just in case everything else is covered. That's your last read. And then you've got your receiver isolated on the left side of the formation, which gives you an opportunity to hit the backside if everything else is covered. And Dart does what Dart can do sometimes, right? If he sees his primary read is covered, or if he has a step up in the pocket like he does here, he's ultimately going to ruin the play for himself. Now, what you'd want your quarterback to do here, step up, you still have a clean pocket, and fire a ball in right here to Malik Neighbors, and you're going to pick up a huge gain. All the momentum's gone your way completely, and you're just driving down the field at this point. But instead, Jaxson Dart panics in the pocket, runs around, loses 8 yards on a sack rather than picking up the easy first down, easy explosive play there that you'd wish your quarterback would give you. And this is just a rookie mistake, right? This is something that you'd expect. These things didn't happen, and he looked like a perennial MVP candidate. We'd all be shocked, right? So don't mind it too much with him being a rookie, but this is definitely something that could be concerning down the line if this continues to happen. Okay, on this play here, I think this might have been Dart's second worst play of the game, honestly. Back to back, it's kind of crazy how that can happen. We have a little quick slant right here. That's his primary read on this play. If that's not open, the play's kind of ruined to an extent, and then we're going to have a hook over the ball. And then we're actually going to have an orbit motion right here that's going to put the receiver behind him in the backfield. Those are the only 3 I'm going to draw up because those are really the only things that you should even be thinking about throwing on this play. And what I want you to notice here with Dart, what he doesn't ultimately realize is this. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 defenders on the line of scrimmage, right? How many offensive linemen do you have? 5 because you're running empty. So what you need Jaxson Dart to do here is process. They have one more guy coming at me than I can block up. I need to get this ball out of my hands in 2 seconds or less. You're going to have a free rusher going straight at you. You got to hang in there. You got to make the throw. And Malik Neighbors is going to get open enough to make this throw, right? And Jaxson Dart stares it down, wants to throw it, changes his mind, and just takes a sack because he didn't realize that he had to throw this ball right there or it was going to be an incompletion, right? So as I mentioned, guy in motion tells you it's man coverage, get it out there quick to Malik. Instead, takes a huge sack, gets crushed right there because he didn't even see the guy coming. It's something that's kind of unnecessary, and it's something you like him to fix going down the line. That's something a veteran gives you like Russell Wilson, but like we saw, Jaxson Dart did enough in this game to still win, so don't mind it too much. Okay, on this next play here, we're going to have a boot concept called up, which is when you fake the handoff. He's going to shoot this way. We're going to roll out of the pocket. And we're also going to run Wandale through the line of scrimmage right here. Give him an easy check down if this guy on the end doesn't guard Wandale, right? That's obviously what you're doing here on a boot is you're always going to have kind of a guy to just get the ball out too quick. And then you're going to have your tight end kind of run this wheel route from the slot. And then you're going to have Malik cut the post in and then cut back to the sidelines. This route almost never gets open. It's really just there for a decoy in case this wheel route gets open because you typically do it with your X receiver and they take up a lot of attention and they're never going to get left open typically if you're playing a good defense. So everything's just flowing this way on this play. As I mentioned, this is a really bad play by Dart in my opinion. And the reason I say that is because this type of play happens 2 times in this game and he makes the wrong decision both times. And typically if you mess up once, I'm like, okay, next time they call it, you'll learn, you'll do better. He actually doesn't in this game, and you'll realize that next time this play comes up. So obviously fake the handoff, boot to the outside. This edge defender didn't pick Wandale, they picked Dart. So Dart's job here is to get the ball out hot to Wandale, pick up an easy 5, 6, 7 yards. But instead, Jaxson Dart's going to try to push the ball downfield, force the ball to his tight end, and just throw a ball out of bounds for no reason, right? As soon as he realizes 45 is taking him, he should loft this ball up slightly, get it to Wandale, pick up an easy 6 or 7 yards. But instead, like I mentioned, he sailed the ball out of bounds. On this play, there's really nothing to draw up. Jaxson Dart just does a great job using his legs. This is one of the advantages to Jaxson Dart over somebody like Russell Wilson, right? Russ has gotten up in age. Dart's able to use those legs and pick up easy first downs. Here's the infamous part 2 of that boot play I mentioned earlier, and you see Jaxson Dart falls for the exact same thing again. Same edge defender, 45, right? Didn't learn the first time to take Wandale, and we're not going to punish him by taking Wandale. If he hits this ball out to Wandale in the flat, Wandale turns the corner and gets us to at least the 5-yard line. But instead, Jaxson Dart tries to cut inside and gets sacked in the backfield. That's just something that, as a quarterback, especially in the NFL, if you fall for something the first time, you can't fall for it again. If you make a mistake, you have to learn from it, and you have to do better and be better throughout the rest of the game. And hopefully that's something they kind of drill and install this week. Hey, Jaxson, if that edge defender takes you, hit your guy quick, because the quarterback with his skill set needs to be on boots a lot. It'll really, really benefit him. But if he's taking sacks on every boot play he takes or throwing it out of bounds, it's kind of just a wasted play, right? Next up, we're going to have some high-level quarterbacking here from Jaxson Dart. This might have been my favorite play by him the whole game because, to me, it shows that he's recognizing the coverage he's getting and he's making the right decision with it, and I love to see that. Pre-snap here, it looks pretty obvious we have cover 2, right? 2 deep safeties, all the corners are kind of pressed up or within 10 yards of the receivers, and since they're pressed up on this side of the field, the strong side, it really tells us, hey, this is probably man coverage. He recognizes it pre-snap, and he has this little slant right here, wants to hit it quick, but realizes if that safety steps down, I might have a way to take this ball for a 60-yard touchdown. And even though he doesn't take it for a 60-yard touchdown, it's just the idea that he realizes this and is able to make this play because this is 3rd down, right? This is make or break. This has got to have it, and he has it here and ultimately helps the Giants win this game strictly because of plays like this. Realizes, hey, I got Wandale quick. Pump fakes it because he thinks this safety is going to come down and crash on Wandale. Safety ends up falling down, so it would have been a completion anyway. But great job here, escaping the pocket, stepping up, getting the outside, hitting that stiff arm, and picking up the first down. Something you love to see your rookie quarterback doing is saying, hey, I got man coverage. I'm going to use my legs. Pick up the easy first down. Okay, on this next play, there's really not much to break down here. I really just want to point out something that was a little bit of a problem to me in this game, and this is what Jaxson Dart does right here. So you see, escapes the pocket because he gets interior pressure from his tackle. So you want to really keep a contain on quarterbacks in the NFL, especially ones who can use their legs like Jaxson Dart. So when this D end kind of cuts inside, takes the inside move there, Jaxson Dart should keep flushing to the outside. Even if he can't beat this guy around the corner, if he keeps flushing the outside, he can throw it away. Easy, no gain, right? You'd love for him to be able to stay in the pocket here because he might have a touchdown to Darius Slayton if he can throw that ball 50 yards, which I think he can. We've seen his deep ball. But Dart ends up cutting back inside, trying to make a move like he's in college, and takes about a 4 or 5 yard sack rather than picking up an incompletion that just helps us continue to fight another down, right? As an offensive coordinator, I would rather have to call up a play for 3rd and 9 than 3rd and 14. And Jaxson Dart right here puts us in that 3rd and 14 situation, which makes us end up having to punt. It's just something small, but it's something that can change the outcome of a football game because, as we know, football is a game of inches. Okay, this is going to be the final play we show in this game. Jaxson Dart does a really great job here early in the play, and then he kind of ruins a lot of what he did. Not necessarily by making a huge error. I think this is just something that, with him being a rookie, he doesn't realize yet you can't do in the NFL like you could in college, right? So we're going to motion in Cam Scatterbo, make it seem like everything's flowing to this left side of the field, but we're going to hit him with some misdirection here. Go back to the right. Same type of boot play, once again. Great job here by him. Still not hitting Wan'Dale, but he's actually going to destroy this defender on just an incredible move here by Dart. Fakes like he's looking that way. Number one, though, this is just some coaching critique if you're a D end out there. You always go for this outside shoulder right there. Never cut for the inside because quarterbacks can make you look stupid. But if you go for this outside shoulder, then they have to step up in the pocket and they step up into the other D lineman, right? So terrible job here by this D end, but also great job by Dart faking him out, getting out of the pocket, and here you see these two receivers are kind of running to the same place, and Dart's going to kind of just chunk it up in the middle of both of them. But I would like Dart to keep stepping up here, wait half a second, because if he waited half a second longer, Wan'Dale is going to start to cut to this pylon, and he's going to be able to throw it to Wan'Dale there, and Wan'Dale will have more separation, and it'll be an easier completion. But the other problem that he has here is he kind of just lofts it up and lets it get hit out. To me, in the NFL, you can never just loft it up, especially not if you're giving it to a smaller receiver who could have it jarred out. Like here, fire it in right there. Put it obviously high enough where Derwin James isn't going to pick it off, but you can't just do that, right? Like you're giving your guy no shot when he's having to jump that high and he's getting speared by a safety, right? As you could see, Wan'Dale, before Dart let go of it, was starting to cut to this side over here. So what I would like Dart to do is wait that half a second longer and just fire it in right there over this guy's head, and it kind of would just put Wan'Dale in a situation where he's able to come down with this ball instead of getting tackled there. But overall, love to see what Jaxson Dart did in this game. Signs that he's going to be a really good quarterback in the NFL. Obviously, the stat line wasn't impressive, but getting a win over many people's best team in football. Obviously, I think this win had to do a lot with the defense looking a lot better than Jaxson Dart's play, but it looked like he kind of revitalized the team a lot. Defense had an incredible statistic. They won on 68% of their pass rush attempts. Insane for the Chargers offensive line to get beat like that. Obviously, the injuries to Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater had a lot to do with that. But overall, let me know down below what you think. Jaxson Dart had an incredible first game, especially for a rookie. Rookie mistakes in there, obviously, but you love to see it for the Giants, and I do think they have their quarterback of the future. Thanks for watching, and see you.